gave you the pass and now you passing by. Don't make that mistake, you still got steps to climb. And if you ever fall, just know I'm not behind. Ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind. Yeah, ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind.
Yeah, finna get rich, me and the clip. Hey, ahead of my time, far from my prime. Nickels and dimes, yeah, I need all of mine. She said she a dyke, she down for the night.
Party poops, tryna fool us, go to Uber, play maneuver. Post the video with my tools like the Vito, they gon' follow my two days. You're too mild with me and booming like the borders. Niggas really tryna cost us, don't lay down, you get a coffee.
I'm just not the type to let these things just slide. I gave you the pass and now you passing by. Don't make that mistake, you still got steps to climb. And if you ever fall, just know I'm not behind. Ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind. Yeah, ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind.
Ahead of my time, finna get mine, do it alright. Keep on sight, waste no time, dirty my sprite. I need double C's in my shirt, Gucci belt, then I flex.
Don't fuck with my grind. By the pace it like quarter line. Get lost, I'm sure to find immortalized. Here no lies, this shit more than money, more than bitches, more than fame. Ain't shit more than time. About to pull up a slot, kill all these niggas and bitches that think they ahead of my time. I'm ahead of my time, bitch.
I'm just not the type to let these things just slide. I gave you the pass and now you passing by. Don't make that mistake, you still got steps to climb. And if you ever fall, just know I'm not behind. Ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind. Yeah, ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind.
I be telling people that, yeah. Got a mic come up, got a singing on me like whoa, whoa, whoa. Got a be on me, man, I can't even breathe. Yeah. She be going so well in this band. Yeah. Got a body moving like a snake. She don't count when I'm doing soft. And I'm about to go do like you. Got a hot rip my beat. Got a body moving like a snake. Yeah, yeah. She don't count when I'm doing soft. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm about to go do like you. Yeah, yeah. Got a hot rip in my beat. Yeah, yeah. My heart is police and you most wanted. I bet you better surrender. I'ma pick you up after this lockdown, man, I know you were slender. She called me a cowboy, cause I feel like I'm riding horses. Yeah, big boys in the building, should've told niggas that I'm coming. I try to warn y'all. I stay in my lane and I'm not a friend with it. I drink on my own and I'm confident. As I'm praying, never confident. Girl, you know how savage you are. I pray your mama never find out. Cause you look like a diamond in her eyes. It's not more than Mona Lisa, yeah. Break bones when I come out. Shake when I come in the mouth. I done just pay for the bus. You niggas ain't real with me. Got a mic come up. Got a singing on me like whoa, whoa. Got a be on me, man, I can't even breathe. Yeah. She be going so well in this band. Yeah. Got a body moving like a snake. She don't count when I'm doing soft. And I'm about to go do like got a hot rip my beat. Got a body moving like a snake. Yeah, yeah. She don't count when I'm doing soft. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm about to go do like you. Yeah, yeah. Got a hot rip in my beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In my beat.
Yo, what's up? It's Bully Club TV in the building. It is what it is, baby. It's Bully Club TV. You know how we do it every Sunday. We got the man and one and only Howard Taylor in the building. Spots of Bullies, UK stand up. All a little fresh. It's Bully Club TV, baby. Your host with the most easy. What's good, everybody? Join in, everybody. I'm gonna give you some time to join in before we call the main man himself, Howard Taylor, baby. Before we get him in there in the building, doing this thing, talking XL bullies, man. You know what it is. I mean, I've been following this guy for some time on Instagram, you know, and he's always speaking facts and only facts, my nigga, man. He's always speaking facts, man. Every time I check it out, man, I'm like, you know what? I gotta get this guy on the interview so he can speak to the people out there, explain to the people what it is, what it do with the XL bullies, and you know how it works out here, man. This Bully Club TV all the way in South Africa, man. You know how we do it with your host with the most easy, and I didn't have my Bully Club gear today. I know what it is. I know, you know, I didn't get it, man. I didn't get it on today. You know, I was too busy, man. I couldn't get my stuff in order. But I mean, it's Bully Club TV, as you see right there. We're in the building over there too. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we're in the building, man. It's Bully Club TV. We're doing it big every single weekend. So let's get my main man in the building right now. You know, I think he's ready. He's been waiting for us right now. So let's get my main man in the building. You know, he's out there in the UK from Spots of Bullies. Howard Taylor, baby. That's who we're talking about. Everybody ready? For my main man. I'm just gonna play up my sponsor real quick, and then we're gonna go up and go straight to my homie and do the interview. Hope everybody's ready. All my XL fans are in the building. Get on. If you're not in the building, I see you coming on. Come on, and let's get in the building. Let's get into this vibe, man. Let's get it. All right, let's go straight to my sponsor, and then we're gonna go straight to Howard Taylor. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the main man himself behind me. You know who it is right there. Howard Taylor, my main man. What's good, homie? How you doing?
How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm good. Say, what's up there? How's the weather? How's the COVID? What's happening?
You know what? Sure. No, COVID's, well, do you know what? It's shit. I'm sorry, you shouldn't say that, should I?
Yeah, it's okay. This live TV.
Good. It's not good, right? Because they still haven't opened the dog parks yet.
Yeah.
So where we are, the off-lead area is not off-lead at the moment. Yeah. So, but luckily someone took some bolt cutters to my one 2 weeks ago, so all right.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's a bit tight, but we're getting past it now anyway, so it's not too bad.
Definitely, man. Don't worry about the swearing and all, man. This is life. This is my show. We're doing how we do it, man. We're live on Facebook. We nobody's controlling us, man. We're doing this thing. Speak your truth, man. Yeah. Speak your truth. So tell me, my man. When did you get into the bullies, man? Tell the people out there, when did you get into the bullies? And what's going on?
I kind of fell into American Bullies 4 years ago. I've always bred Staffordshire Terriers, a couple of Adam Staffs throughout my life. My last Staffy was 13 years old. He had kidney cancer and he was passing away. Yeah. So we had to put him down. You don't want to prolong a dog's life like that. So we had to put him down. He was in a bad way. So we moved to quite a rough area. And I said to my wife, we need something bigger. You know, we do see something bigger. Yeah. Pitbull's a band here. I was looking at American Bulldog, and she said to me about American Bully. I've heard of American Bullies, didn't know much about them. I just knew what they were. But in the UK here, we didn't see many of them 4 years ago. I've never seen one. It's not something you're going to see on your walk in the morning. You're not going to see one. Still now, you don't see many. So, my wife pointed to me. I said, they're on MTV music videos. How do I get one of them? So you have to ask around. I mean, you someone that bred pockets. Frenchie first, then pockets. And he said to me, do you want to buy a pocket? And I looked at that, and I said, that's not going to protect my house, is it? Mm-hmm. And he went, no, you want about an XL? I said, right, do they come in a variety then? Yeah, because I didn't really know much about them. I just see, when I talk about a bully, I knew what a bully dog was, but I didn't know much as the actual breed of the ABKC. So I'd seen bully dogs back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So anyway, we bought Libra. And we got her. She was nice. Had no intention of breeding the girl whatsoever. Just owning a big dog for the house. She didn't really meet my height expectations at 19 inches. I thought I wanted something a bit more physical and big. Yeah. But in the meantime, I was working her, and then we bought Ghost. He was a Merle XL. He was the first Merle XL in the UK. Yeah. When they weren't really popular then. So it wasn't until Ghost got to 8 months old that we realised he might have some potential in breeding terms, because I'm a bit like that. If the dog doesn't look like he can be bred from, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So, and all my life we've kind of had dogs and bred dogs, and it was something we're going to put behind us. But I fell in love. I just absolutely fell in love with the breed. Yeah. I did some research. I put a deposit on Libra and put a lot of research into it, and I just fell in love. I looked at them. I went on Insta. I looked on types of Instagram. My wife had Instagram. I didn't. I looked on Instagram at these other dogs, the kennels around the world. I Googled it, and I fell in love with them. Yeah. So then my next step was then after that to go into breeding.
Yeah, sweet. So you said your first bully was Libra, right?
Yeah, Libra and Ghost. Even then I waited. I stood Ghost out before the bred Libra. I waited till Libra was 2, and I waited till Ghost was 18 months old. Okay. We bred Ghost at Colleon Kennels first in America, in California. We made a beautiful big Merle boy called Payday, and the litter was amazing. Yeah. Ghost outproduced himself on the first litter. Yeah. Ghost is about 120. When he's tight, he's 120. And Payday's probably 135, and I think Blue, his brother's way bigger than that. So he outproduced himself over like an 80-pound female. So I was impressed by that. I knew he had some power in producing. And then after that, it was more about slowing it down, see what he produced with Libra. And again, Libra's only 30 kg at 19 inches. Yeah. And again, he outproduced himself. He made bigger.
Yeah, that's so. I'm just showing the people on the screen Libra right there, so they know who we're talking about.
Blue girl, yeah.
That's who right there.
19 to the wither is about 30 kilos.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna show them a picture of Ghost as well, so they see it.
Yeah. Ghost is 22.5 to the wither is about 120. Yeah. He has been heavier. He has been lighter. Depends where he floats around, but a good fit, fast pace, because I make my dogs be very fit and fast. He's around 120.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you got Libra, you got Ghost, and you got going on. So, which bully would you say then is the first one that you got and you or produced that you were like, you know what, this is gonna take me to the next level?
It wasn't so much about that. It was about what happened was this. I had faith in Libra, but I knew she was small. I didn't know what he was going to produce over Libra. So at the same time as I owned Libra, I decided to go back into breeding. It wasn't just going to be a hobby anymore. I was going to take it seriously because Ghost was a producer. Yeah. If you've got a producing stud, the world's your oyster, because then you can stud that boy out on first pick to many people, and then you can buy females in to breed to them. And you can create a whole new system of dogs from that, or types of dogs, or styles, whatever you want to do, especially with the colours involved, or just even go back to old school. So you don't need to stay male. You can take a solid from the litter and breed to solid. So it wasn't so much about that. So what we did then was I noticed I'd already done a deal because I like Colleon Kennels. He's a big kennel. He's made some amazing dogs, and his foundation started from a dog called Colleon King, which is a dog from Prime Yard. Yeah. In my opinion, for that style, like Wonka is today at Bossy Kennels, he's the best producer I've ever seen. So, in the tri-suit. So, what we did with the deal was this. Rather than him paying for a stud fee for Ghost, I swapped him for a puppy from another litter. Yeah. And that was my girl G-Unit. Oh, okay. No. So G-Unit was a beautiful girl. She's very well structured. She's about 23.5 to the withers, 110 pounds, in amazing condition, very fit, very fast. And what we did was I looked at the way Payday had grown from Bonnie. She's an 80-pound female. Yeah. G-Unit was Bonnie's half-sister. Oh, yeah. So now the same mum, which is Luna, which is a king daughter. This time she was bred to Wonka, who's a king grandson. So now we're doubling up on the king blood. We pulled in the height, and I knew over that height he's going to produce bigger again. Yeah. And more structured towards where his G is, and we made Game off that letter, and Game's currently 9 months old. He's probably about 135 pounds right now. He's a big boy, 25 to the withers, very powerful, very fast, so he's a whole new level of dog in the mill. So in between that we've done other breedings, we bred out, we stood out, and every time I keep back. every time I keep
Every time
back.
you keep back, yeah, that's
I have
just
to
showing
be-
people
every
game
time-
over there.
That's imperative. That's something you have to do if you start on the kennel. You've got to show people where you're going from that. There's no point in putting two dogs together and selling the whole litter because you're just doing it for the money, in my opinion. And it's never what I was about. I wanted to, even when I do my co-owns, so co-owns are for free, or if there's a business intake into it, they pay for it. But if it's a co-own with my passion, where I take direction in the kennel, then yeah, they can pick any dog they want from any litter they want. I just say pick the best, and then we'll go from there. And I'll support them on that. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, for how long have you been breeding now? Like, if you got to put the number to the years.
My first owning dog was in 1982 when I was 3. It was a Staffy called Mighty Meg. My brother had a beautiful dog that he bred when she was young. Well, she was young. I was young. In 1989, called Pearl, a beautiful Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Yeah.
I took a massive interest in that. Spent a lot of time with her. I moved that home at 15, 16 years old. First thing I did was buy a dog.
Yeah.
Bought a Staffy called Connie.
Yeah.
And it went from there. There's been multiple dogs since then. Multiple types of breedings I did, just with Staffies really. We're talking back in the day before the internet.
Yeah, before the internet, yeah.
Back in the 90s, where it was basically, you just had to go out and meet people in the area and see about what they had and what can you breed to.
Exactly.
And so if you go back to my hometown in North Wales, you see a lot of descendants from the dogs that I had.
Fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic. So I wanted to ask you, which breedings do you usually do? Outcrossing or line breeding or
There's no point. You can't line breed anymore. Select few lines are line bred now. Everything seems to outcross. The days of, where the American Bully first come from. So you're looking back at like Grey Line with Tony and Gary Moore that they produced a dog called Wangotti, which is what you see today in a lot of pockets that line, and you see him a lot of XLs.
Yeah.
He was the first, in my opinion, he was the first proper bully dog. He was about 90, 100 pounds, big chest. And they bred dogs for physical attributes. That's what I do now. It's got to be a physical dog, not a show line that you see in a pocket like you see in Magoo or Dax lines or things like that. They were bred for work.
Yeah.
So where you see that, going on from there, that's sorry, what the question was. That's where I've gone from. So yeah. So
I was asking if you do line breeding or inbreeding.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is those lines don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
We don't see the line anymore. You can create a line from a dog.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. You can pick any dog you want and make a line from that with line breeding, inbreeding, whatever you want to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do second degree inbred, first degree inbred, you can go on from there.
Yeah.
But when you see a dog now, usually you look at the pairs, and I'd be shocked if you see 5 gen of one line on it. And when you do see it, you'll just still see outcross blood where they've used a stud and they've used their name or they've stood their dog out and got foot. It might be the same name in it, but not always fluently. So what we do in this game, I try to explain, is don't go for hype, popular dogs, go for type. So we look at the XLs, and they don't follow the uniform that you see in a pocket or a standard, a classic, or even an exotic.
Yeah.
You don't see that in XLs. So when you see like a pocket and you're going from, say, 13 to 16, 17 inches at the withers, and they all can fit a show line conformity of structure and stance and head shape, it was meant to be that way with the XL. But now we've gone into freaky XL and we're seeing huge dogs way above the 20, 23 inches at the withers and the males stand for.
Yeah.
What you can think about is this. When you see a dog in front of you, and I look at a dog and I think, okay, let's look at pit bull to bulldog. Where does it fall in between? If we've got too much pit, there's no point keeping beating pit types to each other. You're going to end up with a pit bull.
Yeah.
If you look at bulldog, you keep on putting bulldog consistency in, you're probably going to jeopardize structure and you're going to pull it back to the bulldog and even mastiff that we see in it. They're technically like a bandog. So at the moment, what I'd see XL is it's a designer breed. It comes in various colours. And if you breed to type, not bloodlines, you'll create a type. Just because 2 dogs look like each other, it doesn't mean it's going to produce like each other, because then you've got to look at the 3 or 5 gen behind that and what was bred into that. If that's consistent, yeah, great, you'll beat consistency. If mum was 22 to the withers, dad was 28, he's made a 25, that dog at 25 could throw mum or dad. You just don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So then it's not consistent in the litter. You'll see a scatterbed litter where they're different heights and sizes. Just not so much, it's not a continuation of that. So it does. I wouldn't say line breeding was too popular at the moment because everyone's following colour or following a look or prettiness of a dog that they've seen.
Yeah.
I like an in-hype dog.
Yeah.
Hype dogs are not even being bred from yet, and people are booking 10 studs, for instance, or something like that.
So when you're talking about breeding your dogs for work, is there any particular work you doing with them or anything like that, or you just like that kind
No,
of?
I'm a physical guy. I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I'm a dietitian. I've retired that 2 years ago to follow this. But I still know the knowledge, and the knowledge is very similar. The anatomy of a dog is like anatomy of a human. Just a dog grows very, very fast, very quick.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't go, but you have to understand when you can and can't work that dog. People just want to buy an XL usually for just to own an XL, like you don't in the pocket. It's a companion, family friend. For me, no. I like to see work. I like to see fluid movement. I like to see a lot of it. So in the winter, we put the miles in, 8 miles a day on 2 dogs for 3 hours. And they respond to it and they love it.
Yeah.
And every park has got a different, we do 4 different parks. We do skate parks, fields, slopes, odd trees, obstacles, things like that. And we always work. But it wasn't so much seeing the pit bully type that are 35, 40 key. What got me interested was how big a dogs can I make that move?
Yeah.
Can I make a 60 key dog do what a 40 key dog does? Is it possible?
Yeah.
And when I see my 50 key dogs doing it, now I've bred bigger, I'm thinking, I'm going to try it. I want to see if it can do it. So you need to see fluid movement. Yeah. You don't want to see so you have to build a dog up from a puppy. Right from 8 weeks old, even before 8 weeks old in the whelping box, you've got to start your program early.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot goes into it. If you want those rewards, the rewards only to me.
Yeah.
They don't enter competitions for that. I just enjoy that. So I'm a little bit different to most people.
Yeah, definitely. I see. So then, do you have any? I think my thing just froze over here. I see I'm frozen on the screen. Jeez. I hope it's not frozen. Let me just check. Let me check on the Facebook. Yo, everybody, can you guys hear me? My thing just froze. I just want to make sure you guys can still hear me. We're not like cut or anything like that. Yeah, I'm still frozen. Yo, everybody, I'm gonna restart this thing. So we can get
Always.
Yeah, I'm just frozen. I see I'm frozen, man. Oh, you guys can hear me, but you can't see me move. Okay, let me just try this quickly. Check. And then let's go up here and let's see what's going on with this. Okay, but you can't see me move. Yeah, the screen is frozen. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I'm just sitting on. Okay, there we go. My camera's back. Okay, sweet. My question was, as an XL breeder, when you like picking your dogs, your puppies, or whatever, at what age do you know for sure? Like, okay, this is the dog, and what attributes are you looking for in that dog for you to say?
Most people pick dogs at 6 weeks old. At 6 weeks old is probably the time when you're going to see conformity. You'll see structure. The point with this is, right, forget about the biggest dog sometimes. You've got to look at the best structured dog, the straightest dog in the litter. Yeah. Things have changed. Things have come a long way now, right, where they put a pick process. They sell every dog at the litter before they're born. Now, if you go back to the old days of bloodlines, half that litter would be pet homed, or half that litter, they'd only pick 1 or 2 for show quality, for that standard, that style. But now it's a bit different. So every dog gets sold now. But what I do say to people, bear in mind, is, let's just say you're looking at XL, so you're purely looking for size, and it wouldn't matter if the dog's the smallest in the litter or the biggest in the litter, as long as the structure's straight and it's perfect. The reason being that you can upgrade size with a nice girl, you can pick a big, fit, strong girl to put your boy to, or vice versa, of perfect conformity structure. While if the biggest male in the litter isn't showing that, and he's showing a bit of an awkward structure, what are you going to do with that? You have to downgrade them, finding a really lower back end girl that offers this, and it's not that easy. So I would say to people, just don't forget about size for straight away, unless a boy or a girl in the litter is pumping everything out. They've got the structure, the conformity, everything's perfect. The size is there, thick chest, big head, big paws. you know, and you can see that muscle on the shoulders and the big back end legs, then yeah, go for it. People, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about the colour of the dog. I say that to people all the time, even in the male world or the tri world. You know, if you want to, don't worry about the pattern of the dog. Look at the dog itself without the pattern.
Yeah, I feel. Fantastic.
The solid world will always be better than the tri world, and it'll be better than the male world for now. Because people, I don't think tries and males have come along like the solid world in the past. So while you keep on breeding try to try or male to try, you're forgetting about the solids. You've got to infuse solid dogs back into those lines. You have to do that.
Yeah.
And all the big male dogs we see in the world right now is usually a male stud to a solid girl.
Exactly.
You know, there's a bit. If you look at everyone knows that in this game, and but if you don't see it, you're a little bit blind to it. For size and structure, that's where we came from because it's been there the longest.
Yeah. I feel what you're saying. So, with the, I said, because you were breeding a lot of merles and stuff. What got you into the merles?
Yeah. Just that all it was Ghost was a pair. He was just there to keep Lieber company.
Yeah.
When a Ghost got to 8 months, he was 110 pounds. He was set to be quite a nice dog. His structure was good. His movement was good.
Yeah.
We sat down and had a chat about it. And I won't lie about it. You know, I contacted a lot of kennels around the world. And most of them laughed at me and said, Mills were this, that, and the other. And a lot of people didn't even too rude to even speak to me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself this, I was thinking, you know, it might be my first 2 XL bullies, but I think the first two dogs. And in some ways, I just see XL bullies as a big staffy, you know, in the temperament and what they do. They're a little bit more pack orientated than staffies were. You see a lot of hierarchy issues, but I wouldn't say they were too much. They're still a friendly, good around children and families. So I knew a lot about breeding anyway in dogs and the history of dogs, so I didn't see why it was too much different. So I challenged myself. I thought, I'm not going to be the guy who doesn't give information out. I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't answer messages to people. I'm going to answer messages to everyone and try and raise the game for everyone, you know, because there is aspects of the game, like I said, where people are rushing into the game in the UK and around the world thinking it's just a money earner. And I say this to people all the time, pet first, money second, not money first, pet second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying with that? Because it's a shame, because we've seen it before with different breeds in the UK that kind of fell off.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if you're talking to dog people that have had dogs all their life or they're passionate about dogs, then yeah, it's a better thing. The UK's got a great scene at the moment, they really have. All the UK's bought from America is first and second picks. It's just about thinking a little bit and putting it together right and getting these breedings on the ground. But we are moving fast, and at some point we're going to start selling these dogs back to America or to Europe. We're already doing that in the European anyway. Europe's flying at the moment as well. They were a little bit long in the game before we were. Yeah, and it's moving really well. I'm loving it.
Is there any XL breeders that you would say like that are not yourself that you like out there, you know, and like this type of style and so forth?
I just like people that understand dogs. I mean, like I said, with the XL in the UK now, even each kennel's not many followers suit. Yeah. They've got various different styles. I got a good mate of mine, Liam, at Steel City Kennels, and we knock heads a lot. Yeah, that's the guy there. He knows a lot about dogs, and we talk a lot. And he's got a tutti frutti bunch of different styles, but he's not willing to cross all those like that. He wants to breed a certain style to a certain style, and that's what you've got to do. You know, if I've got a very popular girl and a very popular boy, we look nothing like each other. They're not going to suit each other with the breedings, and it's a first breed, and they're not going to do it. So you understand that when you buy a dog. A lot of people rush in and they buy 5 dogs in one go, and they go, "I'm going to do this." And you're like, well, you can't do that. You've got to see them fully grown, or almost fully grown, to even understand if they match or if the types match. And when I say bloodline, but blood type, where they came from, the consistency of that is, otherwise you're going to fall apart. You know, a lot of kennels will start. And what I mean is this, I don't mean it in a rude way. If you're charging someone a lot of money for a dog, you've got to put your best into it.
Exactly.
With staffies, it was easy for me. You know, the staffies are £200-300, and they were buying a companion. Now, people now are looking to buy an investment, and it's my job to whelp the best. I've got to do the breeding the best I can, whelp the best I can. I've got to hand them a mini lion, and with as much information and ongoing 24/7 care as I can give them, even as much as a stud selection, not my studs, anyone's studs in the future.
Yeah.
You can keep it going.
Definitely. I feel what you're saying over there. I wanted to also ask you, before I open up the lines, I'm gonna open up the lines to the people to get you, to get to ask you some questions, and I'm sure they've been waiting. They've been trying to get on there and ask you some questions and stuff. Is there any problems you know of with Merles or anything, or is everything just fine? And don't worry about me. Also, I'm also while you're answering the question, I'm just gonna be doing something over here. I'm just gonna be my camera kind of died, so I just need to sort it out quickly. But you can answer the question for the people as we go. Don't worry if you don't see me.
What do you mean to talk about? Problems with mills. The only problems with mills you get is you do a mill to mill breeding. If you do mill to mill breeding, on average, 25% of them will be what we call double mills, and double mills have auditory and visual issues. They'll about 60% of them can be blind, and the rest of you can be deaf or blind and deaf. So we just don't do it. It's just a no-no. Even if they aren't blind or deaf, you wouldn't know. You have to test them all. So you should stay away from it. A lot of people have the misconception that if you breed mill to mill, you're going to end up with a litter full of mills for more money. You're not going to end up with a litter full of mills. You're going to end up with a nightmare. And it's just something you stay away from. And it's not in the bully game. It's Aussie Shepherds, anything. And what I like to say now when I get a chance is people say mills new. It's a new infusion of the line that I use, a bulldog line style, which has been in bulldog in general literature since the 50s. We've noted it back in the 50s in bulldog. It's not just come from what people say a Catahoula yesterday. It's been in that style of dog in the bulldog lines for a long time. And the bulldog is openly admitted, even by Dave Wilson, to be part of the breed now in the XL. So, you can't just say it's a staff times an am staff. It's never going to be those two dogs. So, we do have to look about it. But, mills, in my opinion, are safe, they're healthy. You've got to be careful of two things. One, never breed a mill to a mill. And the other side, the cryptic mills. So if you breed to a sable dog, a fawn dog, a recessive red dog, make sure that you know what's mill and what's not. And if you're unsure for a second, test it. Genetic testing, mouth swab, it takes 2 minutes, send it off. It's back in 4 days' time. You know if your dog's male or not. Yeah. People message me all the time. And there's a misconception in this bully game going around right now, which I've seen a lot of, which is disgusting, really, is people saying the dad's a mill carrier, so the solid dog can produce mills, and it can't. If we did that, the whole game would be ruined overnight because you'd all be doing inter-mill breedings, not even knowing you were doing them. So, no, if your dog doesn't see it on the coat and it's not, if you've tested it or it's not a light coat or a white coat or pied coat, the chances are it's not mill if it doesn't show it on the coat. Mm-hmm. So just be careful.
I heard you say something about a crypto mill.
Cryptic mill, cryptic mill. Let's just say you put a dog to a doubly recessive dog that doesn't show it on the coat. So even though mill's a dominant gene, it's not so dominant in some ways. It can be hidden by other colours. Let's just say you put your dog to a red or a pure white or even a sable dog, and you can't see it properly on the coat. Mm-hmm. So you'll sell that dog as being a non-mill. The person thinks it's a non-mill. They breed it to a mill, but it is really a mill. You just can't see it. Yeah, it's a cryptic. Then all of a sudden they've made double mills. The dog's coming up blind, all sorts, and that's the last thing you want to do. Okay. So you just got to be careful, And like I say, you're careful in every aspect of these dogs, whether it's temperament, health, walking, exercise, whatever it is you do. Just a little bit of knowledge. There's not a lot to learn. If you're going out spending a ridiculous amount of money as some of these mills cost, mine don't. But some of them cost. Do that research.
Definitely.
Takes 5 minutes. You can Wikipedia.
Do your research. If you don't know, ask the main man himself, Howard Taylor. We got you. He can answer you. He's got the knowledge.
I answer everyone every day. I've answered that question about 4 times a day. So
Yeah. I see it all the time on your Instagram. You're always answering people. They're asking you questions and all of that stuff. So another question I think my XL breed people are going to be asking is that when they're going out to buy a puppy, an XL puppy, what must they be looking for?
Like I said, when you look at an XL puppy, you want to see structure's perfect. An XL, let's be honest about it. You want to see, you want to see meat on the dog. If it's been whelped right, have the people whelp the puppy right. That's integral. I teach whelping a lot because people need to know how to get them puppies right. Nobody wants to play catch up with a dog at 8 weeks old, be handed a dog that you like. So you think you've sold a dog for £10,000 or 8,000 or whatever it's cost. No, they put a deposit down on it, and if it's not going to be right, they're not going to buy it at 8 weeks old. So they want to see a dog. They want to see a dog upwards of 7 kilos in weight. Some go way heavier than that, 8 weeks old. You want to see structure, perfect conformity, a nice straight backhand, straight feet, looking forward, feet all point right way, head up straight, look for a nice scissor bite, and things like that. Chest, big thick paws, nice head, a little bit of a glimpse into the adult of the dog. Don't just go and say, well, that's the biggest and heaviest, I'm buying that one, because he could have poor structure.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can add size whenever you want with selective breeding, but it's hard to iron out issues.
Yeah, so you can definitely add size. It's much easier as compared to
I'm into the movement and fitness of dogs.
Yeah.
So you send me an order. I like to see a big dog move, yeah. But if you send me a dog with issues that can't move for those issues, his structure's out, that dog's no good to me. Yeah. And then the dog's going to have further issues later on from trying to push him to movements he can't do. Yeah. Or even again, if someone's just going to get the dog, doesn't want to do all this work that I do, they just want to put him and do his own thing. Eventually, there's going to be issues, or then no one's going to want to breed with that dog for whatever. Nobody wants to try and iron out problems. They might have a stud with a slight raised back or something, which you can iron out easy because he's got 90% good features. And I say that to people: don't let one bad thing put you down. But at the same time, don't just purely go on size.
Yeah. And which floor would you say is the hardest to breed out?
The hardest floor to breed out in this game, I'll be totally honest with you right now. They're not a flaw in structure, but 10% of all dogs in the world, across every breed, have got genetic heart disease.
Yeah.
And that's something you want to monitor. And only 13% of the 10% can be treated for this heartworm. The rest of it can't. And I say that to people a lot. If your dog's sitting down a lot in normal, neutral weather, it's not hot outside, and he keeps on pumping for energy because his heart can't pump fast enough to ask for the demand of the muscles, he might have something wrong with his heart. Those dogs should never be bred from. Let's breed that out of it. Because we're talking about longevity here. We're not just talking about breeding, making money. We're talking about a dog that's still going to be there when he's 12 years old.
Exactly.
That's my goal. I don't want to see dogs dying at 5, because they've had a heart attack, and then they're saying it's a lie and it's been hit by a car or whatever, and he's had 50 offspring and then they've got issues. Yeah. So health in that way is good. And then flaws, you'll see flaws. You'll see really bad structure on dogs. You'll see really bad outwards bandy legs, or you'll see bad turning feet. You'll see a really bad underbite or overbite. There's a lot of things you need to do. I see people even, taking pics, pick process at 3 weeks old before they have a health check or something. Yeah. You can't do that. You need health checks by a vet before you even pick anyone's dog.
Exactly. Sweet. So then, what do you feed your dogs particularly?
My dogs are on the raw diet.
Yeah.
Keep it primal as I can. I don't see the need for them to have. They're not working dogs as such. They're not out doing absolutely crazy things like working dogs, but I do push in the fitness. I don't see any difference. I've tried many different types of raw, and it's always down to physical output. The dogs, dogs are trained to do that. So I just do a basic raw diet, and I feed duck feet too. Duck feet contain glucosamine and chondroitin. Glucosamine replenishes lost cartilage in the joints, and chondroitin puts fluid into the area to cushion it. So it just stops you working that area, and it builds up faster and stronger. The raw diet itself is perfect, but you've got to, when someone says raw diet, don't just think it's raw meat. It's got to be, on average they're 80-10-10, but they do fluctuate. So you'd have 80% meat, 10% offal, 10% bone. Forget about the offal bit for a second. That's your vitamins and everything they need, the goodness. You've got the meat and you've got the bone. Meat is phosphate. Bone is calcium. Together they make calcium phosphate, and that's the building blocks of life inside the human, the human or the canine body itself. It's what builds the dog up, and the dogs grow fast. So you want to get strong, healthy bones inside the dog, and then what we do then is it creates fusion, and then it makes the total machine at the end. But it's got to be done in stages. It's got to be done slowly. Don't work them too fast, and don't underwork them either.
Yeah.
And don't overfeed.
Yeah. What would be overfeeding in your
overfeed? Well, it depends. It depends how much you see. What you can look at two different types of things. When I said before that you're looking at a pit bull to a bulldog, an American bully. That's why I just see it simple. I said mastiff bulldog that end, pit bull that end. Which way am I going? If you go towards the pit bull, the bones are generally thinner. They can't carry the extra weight.
Yeah.
So the more weight you put on those dogs, if they're a little bit fat, they're gonna have more joint issues. They're not gonna hold it too well. And the other side, but the other side of the dog again, if these dogs are more bully type and they're more bulldog type with thicker skin and etc., are the joints strong enough? So your joints, the joints are made of, your connective tissue. So you've got your tendons and ligaments. And what builds up tendons and ligaments is resistance, not jumping up if you damage the joints. So I always say to people, get them on tug of war and things like that, playing with each other in a soft environment, a soft floor environment, no knocks or bangs in the fields on the beach. And it builds those joints up. Because people get a misconception in this age of seeing a 100-pound dog at 5 to 6 months old and thinking, well, he's an adult. He's not an adult. His joints aren't ready for that weight. Yeah. So they need to build up. So keep the fat off them as much as you can when they're young. When they're fused, they're being fused. Their bones are fused now. The growing plates, they're fused together, so they're not growing any taller. Then you can start building them up more, and then you can start adding some more muscle and weight later on. But infrastructure is key to fitness and to a long life as well. So many dogs have got dysplasia. You see a lot of it in this game, and people think it's genetic, and it's not. It's environmental too. Just putting your dog through so much. People don't calculate how long they walk their dog in a day. They say, he's been out for 15 minutes, and they realise, wait a minute, I took him to the shop, I did this, I did that, and my daughter took him, and then they realise he's a 5-month-old dog, and he's walking 4 or 5 miles a day, and he shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Home play, garden play is better, but straight planes exercising one movement, yeah. Using the same muscles in a direct form, like a slap mill or something. Yeah. You're just going to keep on working down that exact area. The dog's not using the synergist or fixating muscles that would be diverse in play, like you'd see in the garden. Yeah. So you're going to keep on working. It's like going to the gym every day and just doing biceps. You're going to train your arms down to nothing. So it's got to be diverse a little bit as well. And then just stick with the rule of thumb with exercise is 5 minutes per day per month of age. But that's just in straight planes movement. You can do more if you're playing at home and that as well. Because people, the misconception is if 6-month-old does 30 minutes a day, he can't spend 23 hours a day in a crate. That's going to ruin his joints. He needs to be out and about moving, playing a little bit.
Definitely. I'm going to just open up the panels to the people on my Facebook so they can ask you some questions. And find out more about some XL bullies, more about fitness with the dogs, more about that stuff that you're always sharing on Instagram. But yeah, we're just gonna share that to everybody. So Bully Club TV fans, hit me up on my DMs, on my comments over there. Oscar Howard Taylor, some questions if you got. This was a one and the only time you're going to get this opportunity right here to ask him live anything you want to ask right now. So go ahead, send in your questions if you got any questions. Let's ask the homie about some XL bullies. He's breeding some XL bullies there in the UK out there. It's my main man from Howard Taylor from Sparta Bullies, man. Hit me up with them questions. I'm gonna hit you up. Yeah, one guy here is commenting saying that his staff died from 6 years, also from heart problems as well.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about the heart problems,
The shames, it's a terrible thing to see.
Yeah. And how would you breed that thing out anyway? Because isn't it like...
Don't breed. Well, that's the thing is, you've got to think about who you bred the dog to then, because it's genetic. So if you bred that several times, not always saying that they're going to pass on that trait as such. Maybe they won't, but you're going to have to ask the people that they bred their dog to and say, well, what's happened? You'll usually know before the dog's being bred. That's what I'm trying to say, is you'll know because he's fit and functional, let's say 8-10 months old. Take him out. People don't take the dogs out enough, so you take him out and you walk with him on that hour's walk or whatever they're doing, or 40 minutes at 8 months. Notice, why is he sitting down all the time? Why can't he get his breath all the time? If it's hot outside, let him play in the house in the cool environment, put a fan on him and see if he's doing okay in there, because sometimes the heat makes a massive role in there. If you take him out at 30 degrees, of course he's going to sit down. But if it's in a cool environment, monitor that. And all you've got to do is take him to the vet. Yeah. Now, you can't do a sonar on the heart until the dog's Doppler test on the dog until he's 2 years old. But we can do just to test the murmurs and irregularities in the heartbeat before that with a stethoscope. So you can just take it. It's just a cheap test. Yeah. You'll know straight away. And someone said to me the other day, well, my dog keeps on sitting down. I said, just take him to the vets and find out. Yeah. Well, obviously, we have the simple test when they're a puppy, when they're 6 weeks old for a health check. They test the heart, but it's not always visible. It's not always, what to tell at that age. So just be careful. And again, a lot of, in-house breeders that, don't really self-up so much, don't ever even get the vet test. Some of them don't even get the shots. We see it a lot in this game, so ask those questions and ask to see mum. I say to everyone in this game, go and see mum and dad. Yeah. Take them out.
Yeah.
Take mum and dad. Take them out first thing in the morning when the joints are cold. You might see any signs of dysplasia or joint issues too. There's lots of things to look for. Fluid movement of a dog. Are they bunny hopping as an adult? Is there something wrong with the back legs? Is there no meat on the back legs? Why is there no meat on the back legs? Because they built the front legs up too much from overworking to compensate for the back, because the back legs have got bad joints. There's many things to look at.
Yeah.
But if you're going to, I'm talking about, you're looking for, forget about the money for a second. You're looking for a lifelong pet. You know what I mean? When you buy a dog, you know that one day you're going to lose that dog. But if you buy your dog alongside of your 5-year-old daughter, when she graduates from high school, that dog's still going to be there. And she's going to remember that. You know, it's part of the family, isn't it?
Yeah. We got a comment from a homie, Ryan. He's just giving you some props. Like, yes, Howard, best male breeder in the UK.
Thank you.
That's what he's saying right there. We got some questions over here. Let's check it out. From Chloe, she's saying, is it true Game's sire is a dinosaur?
Yeah. The big boy Ghost thing, people don't give him credit because you see him in the game, but Ghost is a big lad. For his height he is anyway. But what makes Ghost special, in my opinion, is his work rate. You can see videos on my Instagram of him moving extremely fast and powerful. And that's what excites me about dogs more. It's in my opinion, it's bigger, fitter, faster, stronger. That's what I like to see.
Exactly.
I'm not your show line guy, but I do know a lot about show line. I know exactly what show quality is. If I can point them in that direction, and if I can breed that, I'll breed that too. Yeah. I'm just not the guy to be doing it myself.
Exactly. We got Aries Canos asking, what do you think about male not being allowed in the show ring? Do you think it will change?
I think it's going to change, yes, I think it is. I mean, for the simple reason is why can't male be allowed in the showroom? What's wrong with the coat? Okay, I heard it's something to do with the background of the dog, but I could breed Ghost tomorrow and make a beautiful solid from that dog, and that dog would be allowed in the showroom, so I don't see what the issue is entirely. There are other registrations around the world that do let them in. I know Morpheus, Ghost's half brother, won in America, and there's several other dogs have won. So I don't see what the issue with the coat is as such. You know, even in normal dogs, they get marked down for the dilution on the nose. They got pigmentation on the nose, some dilution. So I don't see, maybe not knock a point down from that. But as far as I know, structure and muscle tone is key in an XR. So if the dog's bringing it, let him do it.
Definitely. And we got a question from Christiana asking, do you ship puppies to South Africa?
Do you know what? I've spoken to several kennels in South Africa, and we're trying to make moves to do this right now. Yeah, we are. Get seen. I speak to kennels all over the world on a regular basis. I spoke to the kennels in Australia today, all around Europe and America every single day. That's what I like to do, is I spread my network. I've got several partners in America.
Yeah.
We've got Sparta New York, Sparta Global, we've got Sparta USA. We've got several connections over there now where we're going to bring more of our lines, and well, say lines, but the bloodline that we've got, or the type, the sire itself, to try and push that. I'm trying to line breed Ghost at the moment to see what we can do with that. So by breeding half siblings to see if it's good and it works.
Yeah. So
but there is in-house breedings, it's not like something. And then none of those are for sale right now. When I take it in close, I don't do a pick process. I don't sell my dogs on the pick process anymore. I sell my dogs when they are 6 weeks of age. I put them up for sale to be released at 8 weeks of age, unless they're going abroad. And I make sure, and I value them how I think they'll be valued. I don't just, sell someone a dream. I try to sell them a reality.
Yeah. So in regards to that, so you are going to be bringing dogs to South Africa, basically.
Yes, I'm going to be. I'll sell the dog anywhere around the world if that's what they want. The only one I do a little bit about is Australia, because you have to keep the dog myself. And do you know what? This is what people need to understand with Europe as well, with Europe, because when Brexit laws come in, that's when we depart from EU. Every dog in the EU, if you want to send a dog from the UK to Europe, it's going to have to be 6 or 7 months old. And that's a lot of, if someone's bought a dog, I in my own heart, I've got an obligation to make that dog absolutely thrive, to send them the best that they could possibly get. And that's a whole another level of dog, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We got Jordan asking, Sparta bullies need to be on Pornhub. He says, Sparta Bullies needs to be on Pornhub. Howard Taylor fucks the entire bully game at once.
I'm just trying my best, you know.
Yeah. You're getting a lot of love. Let's give you some horns right there so we can give you a round of applause and all this love for the XL Bully community right there. Let's go. Yeah. Howard is getting some love right there. Let's see. We got another question here. Aries Kennels again saying, what do you think both studs or females that are known to have man aggression or health problems being bred, the kennels not correcting the faults and ignoring it?
Yeah, that's an issue. Sorry, I'm echoing that.
Sorry?
Am I echoing? Oh, so it's better now.
No, it's fine. I can hear you.
Yeah, so what do you mean? Two unfit, healthy dogs have been bred together. That's why I say to people all the time, go on and see them. You know, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a dog, go and see those dogs. And those people will let you see those dogs. Don't buy that dog. I said to several studs around the world last year when I was looking for G-Unit, my girl to be stud to, before I used Nelson, which I met, I said, can I see the dog moving? And they said, we'll try and arrange that. And I went, what do you mean arrange it? Go in the back garden and throw a tennis ball and let's watch it chase it. And that's all I need to see. I'd love a sideways on in slow motion, but, you know, can I just see it? And they're like, I'll try to arrange it. And I'm like, what do you mean you're trying to arrange it? So that was worrying. You know, why do you need to arrange to do something like that? You should have those clips on your phone. So yeah, there is things. You need to go and visit the dogs. A lot of people have bought dogs off me and said, do you know what, I wish I took your advice. I should have gone. I said, well, what are mum and dad like? You know, if another kennel owns that, get in touch with them. You know, do as much research as you can before you make a purchase. Go and see the dogs. Anyone can come to my house anytime they want and see my dogs. We will hit those miles. We'll take them in the field. Someone come yesterday with the same thing. So many people have been here to see my dogs. And I'm just saying, yeah, let's go and work it. If they say to you, I'm not going to give up my address for several reasons, you know, and it's a bit cagey about it, then think about why. But yeah, you know, we do need to breed healthy dogs. We need to be structured dogs and fit dogs. For every reason. Yeah. It's just what we do, isn't it? We need to promote it.
Yeah, some great temperament as well, you know.
It's just don't follow hype. Yeah. Don't follow just because someone's dog's popular or, you know, it's a certain weight or whatever. Just do what fits you and your program. Don't listen to anyone else.
Definitely. And we got another question. What's your view on breeding an XL male bully to a standard female at about 17 inches?
This is what you're going to... It depends what you say XL Bully. I mean, if you say XL Bully is bang on 20 inches, well, there's not much of a difference between it. If he comes from consistent 20-inch lines and she's from consistent 17-inch standard lines, you're probably going to meet someone between and make a varied, but you need to tell the people that are buying the dogs that they could be standard, they could be XL.
It could be XL, yeah.
And don't just put two photos of dogs next to each other on some banner and say, look what we're doing. Yeah. Explain what. Okay, that's one thing. Now, if you're looking at where you look at XL itself, XL starts for males at 20 and females from 19. You know, if you put on a 20-inch female to a 29-inch male, it's the same as doing that. Yeah. So, but they're all going to be XL.
Yeah,
so you do need to say that. So, but what I'm saying is this: you've got to think about what you're doing. Are you going to be consistency? Probably not. And you might get, like, if you're breeding a 20-inch female to a 29-inch male and you get a 25-inch male and you stud that dog out at 25, he might not produce 25. He could throw mum's genes. He might take more from mum. You might see more looks of mum in him. Yeah. And you guarantee he's going to do that. And I won't mention dogs' names, but I've seen that several times now. So when I say we look at the 5-gen ped, and if the female is matching it, you know, look at one Gotti. He was born in 1997 it was.
Yeah.
They put him into both, didn't they? He went to the XL and like the Krupp line, he went down to like the smaller lines, and he made pockets and he made XLs and standards. And some dogs are very diverse like that. Do you know what I mean? But I'd make sure that structure is key, muscle tone is key, they look similar, type is key. And as long as the people that are buying them understand that they're going to get something in between that, it wouldn't really matter to me, as long as they're fit and healthy. Do you know what I mean? I don't see the big deal.
Okay, as long as they're healthy, man.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, we see that there's a line at the moment between pockets and micros. Yeah. Someone say to me, "I've got a pocket and it's 11 inches." So that's a micro. It's not a pocket, is it?
Yeah.
Because he bred smaller to make a bigger, musclier dog. But potentially, it might be classes. You might rip pocket on the registry, but it's not a pocket.
Yeah.
So there's things to say. But to me, who's not into shows, as long as they're fit, healthy, and functional, I'm happy.
Fantastic. As long as the dog is healthy and functional, Howard over here is happy. Let's give him a round of applause. That's what to say. Let's go on to the next question. Howard, how are your dogs? How are the dogs, pups coming along, and what are your expectations of them at fully grown?
Well, what do you call them? Puppies? They're not really puppies anymore. The other puppies that were sold, that was several. They were several weeks ago. That's from Gia Nelson. They're coming amazing. We only had 4 boys in the litter. She had issues giving birth. She tore the uterus, so we had to rush in for a C-section. We lost a couple, but the males of that litter are amazing. And my own pups that were for what I've kept, my 2 keepbacks and my ICK boy style from Sin City Pets, Attila. That's a disciple's son. They're doing great. They're all 9 months old. There's only 3 days between the brother and sister and Attila. And they're bonding really well, and they're doing really well. And they're huge, big, fit dogs, and I'm working slowly on them. Can't rush them in. And we're working on fusion at the moment, and we're working on building up the ligaments. So yeah, you'll see my videos where they got playing tug of war as such, and they're doing it slowly before we put the real work in, which will start this winter.
Yeah, fantastic. We got another question. Let me just Ashley McDonald. Do you vet every female that your stud go on?
Yeah, I do. People think sometimes that Ghost is being used a lot, and I think he's in about maybe 8 or 9 breedings, and he's over 3.5, nearly 3 years and 3 months old. I didn't even stud him out until he was stud him out once in the first 2 years, I think it was. So I do, yeah. I get a relationship. I know it sounds awful. I have talked to a lot of people know in this game, and no one likes to hear no. And it's just my opinion that I've looked at the female, I've looked at the bloodline, I've asked to see the pet, and I thought, I don't really want to do that. And a lot of the studs that I do now, especially with Game Ghost Son, is I pick the first picks at them litters. I'm not interested in the money. I just want the first pick. I want to produce my own vision with those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do look at the female in depth, and I'm a little bit picky sometimes about what they go to. It doesn't matter if they're beautiful and the structure's right. If I don't think it's a good match, I'll say that. You know, even when people have thrown the money at me, so I'll just give you the money. I said, I don't want the money. Mm-hmm. You know, it's always got to be a good match for me, a good match for Ghost, and a good match for the deal for them too.
Yeah.
A lot of people rush into a male breeding purely for the pattern, you see. It's a bit of a shame. They kind of, when they do a tri breeding or anything, they tend to put away the structure or what they might produce, and they don't look too much into it because they've used a very popular stud, a very popular girl, but it doesn't always mean they're going to make amazing dogs.
Exactly. Okay, another question. Good. Are you planning ever line breed any of your dogs?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and line breed Ghost. So we've got Game, Ghost Son, going to Ghost Daughter from different mothers.
Yeah.
First time we're going to do that. I'm going to see how it works. I just line bred G to Nelson from Wonka, and it worked amazingly. And that was my first dip in the water with this. Never did it with Staffordshire Bull Terriers. So I was always trying to just produce different things with Staffies. I like Victorian Staffies that could work. I don't want them over muscly ones. I like work rate. So yeah, again, we're going to try it, see how it gets on. It's an in-house breeding. Again, there's none of these puppies are for sale. We're going to look at them and we're going to value them on what we think they're worth when they're grown. So yeah, we are doing it. And we're going to see how it goes, and I'd love to carry on doing it. But you got to understand this, and this is a point in my opinion, that Ghost's ped, G's ped, and Libra's ped that have made these dogs a total outcross. Every single dog across the 5 peds on those dogs, 5 gen, you won't find the same dog twice. Mm-hmm. Okay, so apart from G units further down, you're not going to see that. So the dogs themselves, so not G units as such, but G to Ghost to Libra, they're outcrossed. So to me, it's safe to bring it in, and then I'll outcross it again after. I won't carry on line breeding. People get too much wrapped up in line breeding in their own line, and eventually you've got nowhere else to turn. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work out. You need to outcross.
Definitely. Let's go on to the next question from Chloe. What litters have you got, and which one are you most excited for?
What's coming up? I'm excited for Ghost and GSP because I wasn't going to do it, and then I said I wasn't. I promised I wasn't, and I've just seen the litters come on. The litter was so consistent. I can't find a bad dog in the litter. They're all structured straight. They all look amazing. They're all whacking on beef like hell. They're all monsters in the size of them. It's quite impressive. I'm going to line them all up before I do the breeding. Hopefully everyone comes down and we'll go and meet up and we'll line the dogs up and show them what they're getting. So that, and the second they announced it, people were begging me to repeat it before I did it. I like repeat breedings. People say, why do it again? I said, because you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? So it was a good thing to do. So yeah, that to me is good. But also we've got Cardi in America. Cardi's a Bronx daughter from MVP, owned by my partner Greta. Cardi's a beautiful 110 pounds lilac girl. She's going to Game, my up and coming stud. He will be ready in September when he's 12 months. That's going to be a big breeding. She's from old school lines. When I said before, Merle needs the old school, in my opinion, and that's what she is. She's triple cross sinister on both from MVP, big 168 pound bull. We made Bronx at 140 sliced. She's a 110 sliced girl, showing great structure. So that's going to be a big breeding for me too, to see how the Merle works with the old school again at its best. Game's ped is amazing if you look at consistency of that type of taller, structured dog, from King to, to Wonka and things like that, and doubling up on King. So that's another breeding that I'm interested in. So this level, I mean, we've got one dropping right now that I'm using in my stud, Ocean at Steel City, and that's going to be absolutely bully as hell. And she's got some of the taller dogs in the ped too, so they could make another type of game, big like we've made a taller type of dog. So yeah, there's a lot. There's breedings I've not announced yet. I'm not allowed to yet. There's lots of things coming up.
Fantastic.
But I'm excited for Ghost and G's repeat.
Oh, fantastic. The guy who asked the question earlier said he was talking about Dogo pups. He meant.
Yeah, Dogo. Okay. So when I say I like, this is not even XL bullies, are they? So when I say I like physical dogs, I like dogs. So I looked at the bullies running, I looked at big bullies moving. I like bigger, fitter, faster, stronger. So let's just get something straight for a second. I didn't do this for money. There's no money involved in it. And when you explain it later on in a few years, it'll all click for everyone. But right now it's a secret that I've only got in my own brain. So I'm not going to explain too much about it. But what I did was I put Ghost to a Dogo. And the Dogos abroad, we're going to mix them. We've already done the breeding. The puppies are thriving, they're massive, they're bigger than they've ever done. People think Dogos, as a misconception, are vicious, and they're not. The Pitbull Terrier was bred for fighting in the British Isles. That was bred to fight another dog. A Dogo's never bred to fight another dog. It was bred to round game up and not to attack the game either. It was bred in 1926 by Antonio Martinez, and it was about to just not. So and then going off from that, they do shows now. There's always been shows. There's hundreds of dogs in the same building. So I used a show line from the Verdis Pampers line to go to Ghost. And the reason I've used Ghost is because I've noticed in Ghost, because aesthetic girls like G, he pulls the aesthetic out of the pups. You get very lean, tight features. You can pull that into them too, and he injects a lot of size. The point of the dogs was to do fluid movement, what you call an inverted pendulum movement, when they cross their legs like a greyhound and move over distance for an extended period of time. And the Dogo does that very well. A Dogo can move up to 50 kilometers an hour. A bully can't do that. So the idea was to infuse the size and thickness of the bully, lower the back end of the bully like the Dogo. Just get some fluid movement, but off the bat speed, not built up speed like a dog would usually take to build up the speed. A bully does very short paces. Widen the dog out, taking corners fast, and make an ultimate dog, an ultimate style of dog that can move in a bigger range of muscular dog with tight features. And this is step one into it. This is the first stage doing that.
Fantastic.
So, hopefully, I'm not owning any dogs myself. I'm too busy here with my own dogs in my family, but they'll be co-owned out, and I'll be managing the program from the outside.
Oh, nice. So that's like a whole different thing that you're working on.
All different.
Yeah.
Not the medical at all. That's just something that I've got to go into. And as I'm doing it, as I go further on, I'll speak more about it. And then when there's no value in these dogs as such to look at, but you'll understand where the value comes from in a few years' time.
Oh, fantastic. Alita looks amazing. Can't we see what you do with him?
What's that? Attila?
Yeah, Attila.
Attila's a nice EK dog. Attila's a very special buy. When I got into American Bullies, obviously I own Ghost and Lever. I bought them as pets. I got more of a passion. I looked at the old school Iron Cross bloodline. I love the taller, big, fit dogs. And I wondered to myself, what can that dog do? How fast can those dogs go? I asked many people, and I just kept them as pets. And no one seemed to show me them doing anything at all. With most XL bullies, I put onto like the big bully platforms on Facebook, Bully Blackboard and that, and said, show me your big bulls working. And the best I could see was somebody they were kind of throwing tennis balls and things and just seeing straight movement. I didn't see the full workout. So my experience, Disciple, who's decided over 270 pups, made some amazing dogs throughout his time. He had Frozen Shores at Sin City Pits. They got let in on that breeding. They got a second pick of Attila. Attila went to Sapphire. Linebird from the side. Well, not Linebird from ICK lines, but come back from the disciple. She's got 2 major hitters in her pad with Steel Dragon on one grandsire and Stalefish on the other. So you're going back to the RG people as well with Liger. And yeah, I've got him. He's slowly working. He's not working as fast as the other ones because some of these dogs grow at different rates. Yeah. So he's not even starting his path yet in his life with working like the other bullies. Males grow very fast and they fuse very fast and finish very fast. You need to see the genetics of the dog. He's not at the moment. He's still growing in height. He's still growing. He's still slowly growing. An ICK style dog will carry on growing until 3 years old. Not in height, but to develop properly. They'll still grow in height until 18 months, while most bullies knock off at 10 months. So I'm taking it very slowly with him. We've got apparatus in the back garden that he hangs off and plays off. We do a lot of tug of war and things like that. Building his body up slowly, strengthening his tendons right now, his ligaments, and you're going to see him go to work about 14 months old, and you'll see the finished product at 2. That's why I'm just not out of studs right now. They're going to wait. I like to see people see the finished product before they start stuffing dogs out.
Great. We got Marco asking here, how do you start breeding as a beginner?
Starting breeding as a beginner?
Yeah.
Study. Look at everything that everyone else is doing and what they've done, and does it work? Doesn't it work? You know, you just got to look at Pitpedia, Bully Paddocks, Bullypedia, amazing places to look at, because you can go 5 or 10 years back and see what people put together and what they produced. Understand your type of XL. They're not all the same. You know, someone might say, I've got an XL bully. Well, have you? What title is it? Is it an extreme? Is it a double XL taller? I know there's no such thing as double XL, but they are the tall level, 23 inches. Then we've got the XL. Then we've got the aesthetic, the pit bully types. You know, you've got so many different types of XL. Find out what it is you like, what got you interested, what got you excited about XL. Did you see one in the street? What type was it? Explore different styles, different types. And again, like I said, different bloodlines. No, we don't do bloodlines as much now, but you can look back on what there once was, and you can maybe try and get a little bit of that back. So once you've started that, you need your foundation dog, and whether it's male or female, you can take a hit on a male. It's a big punt to do, because there's not many studs out there that are popular. And I don't mean popular, but I mean producers. And then, or you can buy your female and look for those producers, but make sure they are of type. They look similar. Do not be fooled by people whispering in your ear, telling you that this dog's the best thing out there. He might be for a different style of XL. These are not pockets. They're not Magoo that everyone needed to use for his characteristics. They're not, they're not Dax. They're not those type of dogs. This is the XL line. They are so diverse. So just because you've got like over Unleashed Kennels, this type of dog that does a very pit bully aesthetic type, you're not going to mix that with something from ULP Juggernaut lines. You'd be crazy to do that. Yeah. So there's 2 popular dogs. So what I'm saying is follow type. Do they look similar? Have they got 5 gens or 3 gens at least of similar dogs behind them? Then you're going to breed those traits. And look for structure, health as first, paramount. And then go from there, you know, and just find your feet, do your first breeding, and learn how to whelp as best you can. Whelping puppies, there's nothing better than giving someone a puppy on a good start. Yeah. The last thing you ever want to do is give someone a badly whelped pup. You've put the whole program back, because we hit the growth spurt at 4 months. That's key. That's when you need to get your dog right. So when you're buying from abroad, American dogs don't come here till 4 months old. Make sure those dogs at 4 months old have been sent over in the past in good condition. You don't want to play catch up, you know.
Definitely.
Yes, really. So yeah, just do your research, get your diet right, get your tips right, get everything right. If you've got a 20-box tick list of being a good breeder, make sure you're ticking most of them.
Fantastic.
You know.
We got another question. Is what's your view of people talking about breeding double XLs?
Yeah, over the height, it's all right, but don't get carried away with double XL, because when you go to crazy big sizes, you're playing with God. You're playing with God if the structure's not right. And then you start seeing big messes. You start seeing problems of pasterns. I mean, you can train pasterns, you can train feet, you can train to structure to an extent. But if you start to play with massive dogs, you're going to see bigger issues. The bigger the dog, the bigger the issue. And again, You know, the bigger the dog, the more the heart's got to work to keep that dog going. And then you can't pay for food. But, you know, you've got to think to yourself this, you know, what am I doing? Have I jeopardized structure here? Let me see the dog I'm breeding. Don't just go for a photo or because someone's told you it. Ask to see that dog. And if the dog, you know, isn't with us anymore and it's frozen straws, go back in the old days and look at all the photos and videos of that dog you can. When you're playing with big dogs, you're jeopardizing structure. You've got to make structures key. It's hard to correct in a bigger dog. It's very hard to correct. You need to get it right. When it's a smaller dog, it can be ironed out pretty easily. You know what I mean? When you look at 20 inches, it's not too hard. When you're looking at huge dogs, be careful what you're doing. I've seen some absolute train wrecks when you look at the dog. I've seen some beautiful ones too, but they're both from the same breeder, and I'm like, okay, you've not got consistency going on there because you're just breeding biggest to biggest.
Yeah.
It's not always the right way to do it.
Definitely. Jordan is asking, what are your expectations of doggo pups at fully... Okay, we already answered that question because you said you're not going to get into that one too much because it's still a secret project. And let's go on to the next one. What are the things you're looking to add to game with your breeding in mind as he sees all there?
As game as currently is now, I've trimmed game right down now. It's time for him to just keep on. I don't want to put on too much muscle on game at the moment. I don't want to jeopardise anything joint-wise. I'm building his joints up slowly with work, with sister Spectra. Why does Spectra work with Game? Dead simple. You work two dogs together. Game's a little bit slower than Spectra, but a lot stronger. She's a lot faster and not strong as Game. So I work them together. So when he play tug of war on the lead, he beats her strength and she beats his speed, and they chase things too, and it works well for each other. But Game can only be really looked upon as he's finished, and when he's finished, you've got to look at the girls that he's going to. He's a little bit more bully and more mastiffy in the face than what the sister is. So the sister's going to need more bulldog in the breed, a bit more of a mastiffy type dog, a bit thicker dog, more muscle to it. And Game's going to need, in my opinion, more aesthetic type dogs. He's going to need to create the look. Like I said before, when you look at a bully dog, a bull, an XL, you're going from pit bull to bulldog. And the idea is to meet between with aesthetics and a nice look. If you keep on going one way, so I'm not going to put Game to a big monster, you know, bulldog style extreme girl. Yeah. I'm going to look slightly more pretty aesthetic dogs to match that. Don't care what colour they are, couldn't care less. It's just got to be right, and they've got to be able to work, and I've got to see them in the fit. And then I'm happy doing it, you know, as long as they're over, say, Game's quite tall at 25, so it'd be nice to see girls that are, you know, a little bit taller, but, you know, as long as they're straight and nice, it's better. But, yeah, as long as if you do a shorter breeding, people understand that they could be varied in height. You know, you're not going to get a dog like Game or a dog like the other, they could be in between. So people need to respect that too, understand what you're buying.
Yeah. Okay, we got another, Mitchell is asking, so much information, constantly learning every day from you. Keep it up. He's actually giving you a nice thing. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And he's saying, how do you get the size and structure to fuse together in a male suit?
Well, it's just not, you know, I've got to put my hands up, and Ghost isn't my production. I can only guide where Ghost goes to. So when you look at, if you're looking at Ghost as a dog, you know, that's Dominus House of Bullies, and Ghost, his brother Kazar is just like Ghost. He's a producer like Ghost. The fact that he's a producer is not up to me. Who the dogs he goes to is up to me. G-Unit was imperative, and she was essential. I actually I won't say names, but I actually put deposits down on two other dogs and walked away from those breedings and let them keep the $1,000. Didn't want those dogs in the program. Just looked at the 8 weeks old and thought, no, keep it. So I needed G. When I got G, she wasn't very heavy enough, and I worked on her. The transformation was incredible on G, and they bonded so well. And when I said G had what Ghost lacked. Ghost is more bulldog from the mill line. G's more pitbull type, tight skinned, and that's what I said before. It's the mixture in between. And when you get it right in between, you make a dog like Game. Yeah. And what I wanted. And Game's not just about being. Right now, I think he's the biggest lilac tri-mill on earth, but it's not at 9 months. So it's not about him being that. It's about him being able to work. And I put a video up from the other day moving fluently, and I was so happy to see that. I'm not the kind of guy who just gets a dog out of the kennel and goes, look at this. I want to say, hey, look at this. Comes to the field to see this. You know, that's about. So, yeah. And whether Game's a producer or not, I don't know. You know, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to come out here and say he's the best producer who can do this. He might produce consistency, and he might get a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, but you can't keep on making bigger dogs.
Yeah.
You keep on making bigger dogs in 5 generations, you've got a 400-pound lion in your house, haven't you? It's not going to work like that. It never has worked like that. So whether Game can produce or not, I don't know. If he breeds like himself, I'll be over the moon.
Yeah, fantastic. Got another interview from Ashley McDonald. What are your top 3 males in the UK, in the XL UK circuits right now?
Top 3 males in the UK in the circuit as a going. I love Nelson. I use Nelson. I went to meet him. He's 28 inches to the withers. He's got so much raw power, drive, and energy. Out Nelson, Manchester, that's where you'll find him. And he's producing himself. I put him to G as our sister, and they produce amazing dogs, and they're huge right now and structured straight. I loved him when I seen him. So that's one dog that I like. For a bully aspect, from an XL bully aspect, you know, Bully King London, Bully Joker Line now. Joker is ticking all those boxes. He's an amazing dog. He is what it says on the tin. He could probably walk into any show and win it, in my opinion. Yeah. I love the dog. That's the old school bully look. It reminds me a lot of a dog called Notorious. So yeah, he's a very nice dog. Going on from that, so I think about other dogs in the UK right now. I don't want to say too much because people get offended by it. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's about what they are, but
yeah.
It's you know, if you look at that aesthetic dog, Ruger's a beautiful dog. He's very aesthetic, old school lines. He's a nice dog, and he's made some great productions too. So that's another dog that I like from old school dogs. Yeah. For the look. I never want to say my dogs. I never say my dogs ever. I don't believe in that. When someone asks me to buy a dog, I don't put on my dogs. I say, what are you after? What you're looking for, what you've seen, what pictures, what you started. It might, you know, it's not. I don't ever push my dogs on anyone. I always say, what is it you're after? And I'll point into my friends or people or kennels that I think they can get that, you know. It's what it is, you know.
Fantastic. We got another thing from Chloe. She says, last things to say, great guy, amazing dogs, not about color, and sticks to the truth. Yeah, it is what it is. We got to give you some horns right there. And a round of applause. Yeah. So we're gonna close off the questions soon. So if you got any more questions, people, I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to hit them up. If you got anything left that you want to say, whether it's a comment or a question or anything, send it through right now. I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes if you got anything, just in case, you know what I mean, just in case. So I just gotta show you guys out, and I'm just gonna put up the dogs out here, you know, so you guys can see what it is right there. You can see some of those dogs right there. We still. That's Libra right there from Sparta Bullies, you know. And then we got Game over there. That's the huge male, the Merle, the XL Merle, Game. Looking lovely. And we got G Unit. And then there's Game at 8 months old. Right there, looking lovely. We got Howard and Libra chilling out there. And then we got Spectra. He's a nice male boy. Girl, actually, sorry.
Big girl. She's a very big girl.
She looks like a boy, man. I thought she was a boy the way she's so big.
She is. People think she is. She's a big girl. I called her Spectre for a reason. Spectre's we call Ghost. Ghost is just called, folks. I like the series Ghost.
Yeah.
But you can't see his male too well. She's like a ghost male. But Spectre's a visible ghost. That's what you call her, apparition. So I called her after being a visible ghost. You could see it.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's the bulls from Sparta Bulls. Right there. Who's the big boy? Is that Ghost you holding up? The one that's like looks like
that's Ghost. Yeah, like the big boy. He's a big one.
Super big.
He's thick. He's not tall. He's 22.5, 23 to weather's max. Yeah. He's just a very big bull. You know, I love him to bits. He's my favourite dog. I have to say. Do I have a favourite? Yes, I do have a favourite. It's Ghost.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, my man. We're gonna close off the interviews. If anybody got anything to send to my homie, go out and search him out there. Howard Tyler, that was Sparta Bullies. Go out and check him out. Go and hit him up in his DMs, whatever. Ask him any questions you got on Mills, any questions you got on XL Bullies. We don't only end here at Bully Club TV to educate people, but you can go and hit them up yourself personally.
Yeah.
If you want to go hit them up and get yourself some information and educate, man. And I just got one last thing to say is to ask you, for ASEAN and South Africa, what is your advice to ASEAN and South Africa to keep our bully game going and so forth? And
knowledge.
There.
Knowledge is key. Look at the origins of where it was,
yeah,
and where it went, and then think about where you're going with it. Don't follow hype. Don't go for just things that are structure is key, muscle tone, and play. Read the guidelines from the ABKC and see what it is Dave Wilson wants from the XLs. Yeah. And then if you're going to go taller, just keep it the structure, keep it straight, because structured dogs last longer. Their joints last longer. They're healthier for longer. That's what you've got to play with. These are pets for life. They're not just a fad. When things fall apart, the dog's there for life, isn't it? So think about where you're going.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Howard Taylor. We had a good interview with you guys. Shout out Sparta Bully. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to everybody who's loving the XLs out there. And keep the movement growing and breeding better and better XLs. And XLs I see coming up now. And, people are breeding some good stock, man. Let's give them some homes. Thank you very much, sir. We'll talk. We'll have another interview some other time again, or so forth, and then keep it going. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Cheers.
Sweet. Yo, it's Bully Club TV, baby. It is what it is. Your boy's doing it most. Let me just check out my camera over here. It is not as. There we go. It was just sitting off there a bit, but yeah, it is what it is. It's Bully Club TV, baby. Hope everybody's doing good. We did have a great interview with my main man, Howard Taylor, right here, and it went smooth, man. It went smooth. I hope everybody got educated, got the necessary things. I'm just hitting up my man right here, just saying, thank you for the thing before we, before we move on. There we go. What's going on? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me move over there. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm looking better. I'm not looking so lighted up and everything. So yes. Let me read some of your things. Yeah. Thanks for the support. Yeah. Let's see. Thanks, guys. Yeah. I'm feeling that. Thank you for the comments, guys. Thank you for the comments. Do you have any YouTube views of what you do? Yeah. He's got videos on his IG. You can go check them out. He's putting his dogs out there all the time. You can go check them out there. Faisal, go and check them out, man. Go and check them out. I'm gonna post up everything out there, and then you can check it out. And then we're gonna be doing it, baby. It is what it is. We're going out right now. You know what it is. Yeah. Bully Club TV, baby. We did it big again. Join us again next week again. We're doing Sunday. Every Sunday we do international interview. During the week we're gonna be doing some amazing stuff. I was supposed to do the live stack off. We didn't get a chance to do it, but we will definitely do it very soon. Hanging. I was just so busy this week. We didn't get a chance to do anything, man. We still got the Bully Club merchandise there. I don't have my sweater with me on today, but yeah, hit me up if you want to get some Bully Club sweaters. Yeah, I got a plug for the guys in the US, so if you need any of those things, we can send them to you right there. But hit me up. It's Bully Club TV, baby. We're doing it big again. It's your host with the most easy. Join me again next week. We're gonna be doing a live stack off. We couldn't do it this week, but we will do it this coming week, right? Live stack off. That's what we're gonna be doing, man. Hope everybody's ready for that. And we're gonna be doing another special interview as always on Bully Club TV, man. You know how we do, man. Yeah.
Play maneuver, post the video with my tools like the video, they won't follow my tools. You're too mild with me, I'm booming like the bottle. Niggas really trying to cost you. Play dumb, you get a coffee.
I'm just not the type to let these things just slide. I gave you the pass, and now you passing by. Don't make that mistake, you still got stairs to climb. And if you ever fall, just know I'm not behind. Ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind. Yeah, ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind.
Ahead of my time, finna get mine, do it alright. King on sight, waste no time, dirty my sprite. I need double C's in my shirt, Gucci belt, then I flex.
Don't fuck with my grind. By the pace it like quarter line. Get lost, I'm sure to find immortalized. Here no lies, this shit more than money, more than bitches, more than fame. Ain't shit more than time. About to pull up a slot. Kill all these niggas and bitches that think they ahead of my time. I'm ahead of my time, bitch.
I'm just not the type to let these things just slide. I gave you the pass, and now you passing by. Don't make that mistake, you still got stairs to climb. And if you ever fall, just know I'm not behind. Ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind. Yeah, ahead of my time, ahead of my time. Yeah, 2094, they gon' press rewind.
Hey, what's up? We out. That's my numbers right there. Follow me, homies. Hit me up. It is what it is. Bully Club TV. We got a live stack off coming up this following week. Hit me up on my DMs. This is my social media handles. Bully Club on Facebook. Bully Club _ on Instagram. Bully Club TV on YouTube. Hit me up. Send me your dogs. Let's go. We're gonna do live stack off next week, and then we're gonna do a great interview again. As always, that's my jitters over there. For those in the overseas, let me do this for y'all so y'all can hit me up this way. You can so get it. There we go. That's my digits right there. Hit me up. Let's go. Hit me up if you got anything you want to send me, the dogs or whatever. And thank you guys for joining me every week as we do. Thank you very much. It's Bully Club TV, baby, and we out.